Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for today's 14 days for today's final video, day 10. Will take us to the 7th of May, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended CFS ensembles. Right, we're trying to go weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will get us well into the last stages of May. Now, I shall get off that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, a video saying was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released a weekend forecast without a written version today, and the second summer 2024 seasonal model round, getting all of the long range models together for the second time this season, see what we're all showing for the summer. Please check out all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much for doing that. Very late with today, 10 to 14 day. I've been to Loughborough today. I've been to the Rainbows Hospice. They provide vital care for babies, children and young people with life-limiting and terminal conditions. And we raised money for Rainbows last year. Here on the channel, we did a charity event and a charity live stream in memory of my lovely mum, Mrs. P. And so we raised £2,000. Actually, we raised a significant amount of money for Rainbows, and it's their last year. It's their open day today, so I got an invite, to go and hang out with them for a bit this afternoon, and it was absolutely lovely, lovely open day. It's fantastic to see everybody. All of our friends at Rainbows are doing well. And yes, so that's what I've been doing this afternoon. So that's the reason that day 10 to 14 day is late. Hope that's all right with everybody. Right, well, let's crack on then. I'm going to start off by having a look at central in temperature. CT ticked down quite a bit yesterday, actually. Went down to 9.6. That's 1.7 degrees above 61 to 1990 average. And a little over half a degree above the 91 to 2020 average. That's provisional to yesterday, to 26th of April. That probably ticked down to 9.5 to today, and then may start to level off and then gradually edge up again, perhaps, as we get towards month's end. We'll see about that. Only got a couple more days, a month to go, though, of course. Regional GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Looking at London today, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London, starting off around to a little bit below average at the moment. Notice this warming trend taking place. That does begin before we get to month's end, but it's really when we get into the beginning of May that we find the upper air temperatures beginning to tick back up again and starting to become rather on the warmer side, at least through the opening sort of days of May anyway. There's a little bit of a drop back going on again when we move from the first week into the second week of May, albeit there's a lot of scatter within that, so you notice the warmer ensemble members up here, colder ensemble members down there. The thick green line is the GFS operational run. That looks like it's one of the coldest ensemble members in the extended range. So I'm going to have a look in a moment and see about how that happens. Now, we've got a lot of rain coming up through the rest of today and tonight across many parts of England. So that is that rainfall spike just there. After that, looking reasonably dry for London anyway, through the remainder of April. Precipitation then coming back again when we get in towards the last stage of the week and into the bank holiday weekend. And then from the first weekend into the second week of May, we're looking rather showery then. Temperature anomalies from the 27th of April to 5th of May. A little bit above average for north, a little bit below average himself. Not a particularly big deviation. Most places coming out near normal. Precipitation anomalies from the 27th of April to 5th of May. Went to an average for England and Wales and nearer normal further north. The latest from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure sitting just to our south at the moment over northern France. That's been pushing northwards overnight tonight, bringing heavy rain with it, but that will start the process of beginning to lift the temperatures up for next week. Right, let's start going through the chart data then. Let's have a latest UK Met Euro run. It's looking big night on Tuesday, low pressure just out to our west, and we're bringing up the southerly flow, so raining west and warmer. Now we go into the middle part of next week. We've got this trough of low pressure sitting across England and Wales. So some quite warm air in with that, so humidity will increase, temperature will lift up into the 20 Celsius mark, I think, but this trough could well be the trigger for further heavy downpours, if not thunderstorms. Further north, a lot of dry weather through Scotland with those easterly winds persisting. And as we get into the bank holiday weekend, well, they'll try to raise the heights a little bit, but we have still got plenty of low pressure out of Atlantic. So a little bit inconclusive whether we turn drier into bank holiday weekend or keep it relatively mixed. That gets us to the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars Day. So, yes, that's part we get to UK Met. Icon, again, with low pressure just out to our west on Tuesday, and we're drawing up with southerly wind. No, raining west and quite mild, if not quite warm. Trough of low pressure sticking around the country through the middle part of next week with further showers. Maybe some long spells of rain as well by the bank holiday weekend, or start bank holiday weekend anyway. Starting to see the low pressure being blocked a little bit in the Atlantic as heights begin to try and rise from the Azores, back to reach the Azores high just there, and also some higher pressure up towards Scandinavia as well. No KMA update again today, so sorry about that, everybody. We'll move on to GFS Midnight Run. Again, low pressure just out to the west, looking quite warm, very southerly southwesterly winds and showering into the west. Through the middle part of next week, we've got low pressure sitting to the west, southwest, and also to the south. That could bring some heavy showers, maybe some downpours to England, Wales. It should be drier though further north. Into the last stages of next week and next weekend, we've got this little shallow trough sitting across England and Wales. That bringing further heavy showers with it. Meanwhile, further north should be reasonably dry for Scotland. And then heading on through the rest of the bank holiday weekend, we tried to draw down some cooler air from the north actually, but low pressure sort of holds it up. It does suggest that things might turn increasingly unsettled, I think, through the bank holiday weekend. And low pressure never far away, especially to the south and southwest, bringing further wet weather into the south and southwest, always that little bit drier though further north. And we get to the end of the GFS Midnight Run. And then we look quite pleasant actually. We build up a Scandinavian high and we bring the wind in from the east. That is bringing in some quite warm air from the east as well. Show me upper air temperatures. See, we've got plus 10 Celsius iceberg sitting over the Low Countries there and all parts of France. So warm air drifting in from the east with maybe though still some heavy showers in the south, drier up in the north. But some GFS 6Z is looking, again, got low pressure just out to our west on Tuesday with a warm southerly wind. No, temperatures will be lifting up, but could be some showery rain in the west through the middle part of next week. Low pressures in the south, drier further north, winds in from the east. This low could bring some heavy showers, maybe some thunderstorms or long spells of rain into south through the middle part of next week. And low pressure sticks close to the country as we go into bank holiday weekend as well. We start to pull down more of a northerly influence. High pressure begins to relocate to the northwest once again. That's bank holiday Monday. So probably reasonably dry. Actually, those heavy showers and that could well be dying out down the south, but the temperature will be starting to cool off again, freshening up as winds turn into the north and into the extended range where high pressure is out to our west. We bring in the wind from the north and from the northeast. So this is how GFS 6Z becomes a cold outlier with high pressure to the west and drawing down those north to northeast winds. That's a setup at the end of the GFS 6Z run. Sorry about this. And still looking rather cool and showery there with low pressure sitting to the east, high pressure out to the west. The winds remaining from the north. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm sure everyone for doing that. Want to drop comments so what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We thank everybody for doing that. GM, again, with low pressure in the ascendancy through the early part of next week. That brings heavy showers to western regions. That low pressure then sinking away to the south and the east. Could well keep further heavy showers going for England and Wales. Should be a bit drier though into Scotland. Through the bank holiday weekend, we start to get rid of the influence of low pressure. Higher pressure begins to take over to our northeast. So we should be drying out. It's still reasonably warm, I think, into the bank holiday weekend with that. And that's the setup for day 10. Gets us to midnight on Tuesday the 7th of May. A trough of low pressure then trying to get back in from the west. And then the ECM, once more, with low pressure out to the west on Tuesday. Winds are coming up from the south. Showery and also relatively warm. And into the middle next week, well, this trough could bring heavy showers, long-term rain and downpours to England and Wales. Should be a bit drier, though, into Scotland. Second half of next week, and the bank holiday weekend takes a low pressure away to France and Germany. Pulls in the wind from an easterly direction and starts to raise the heights as well. So things should be starting to dry out there as pressure begins to ease up. So not a bad bank holiday weekend, actually suggested by the ECM midnight run. That could be relatively warmish and quite dryish as well, I think. Let's have a look at the precipitation forecast based on the ECM run from weather.com. So here comes rain piling up from the south tonight. Going to be thoroughly wet night across many central and eastern parts and southern parts of England and Wales. It's a little bit of green in there. That's snow. I doubt that will verify. Maybe over the very tops of Welsh mountains and whatnot, but I don't think that will verify. I think it will just be heavy rain, but it does suggest that the temperature is still subdued, as we know. Things dry up through the course of tomorrow gradually, and then more rain into the west into Monday. That struggles to make it into the east. So into the middle next week, you start to see heavy showers then pushing up from the south. It could be a little bit of thunder mixed in with some of these downpours around the middle part of next week. Further heavy showers, maybe thunderstorms coming in from the east there as we get into the start of bank holiday weekend. And then things drying out through the remainder of the bank holiday weekend, though. So, actually, most of it looking not too bad at all. I reckon the temperature could be maintained at least into the upper teens Celsius. So, after the pretty grim Easter bank holiday weekend that we had a few weeks ago, could be early spring or early May bank holiday weekend. Could that redeem things, I wonder? CFS V2, no one I'm talking about, it's a 500 millibar. It's a novel, it's broken down into weekly periods. The first weekly period just from the 7th to the, no. What am I talking about? No, what are you doing, Gav? What are you doing? What the hell are you doing? What the hell's he doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Everybody, what's he doing? Right. These are the options on the table within the EC. Get on the script, Gav. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles. Actually, by the way, for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office, it gets us to the 7th of May. That's it. He's back on form. He's back on the script. So we have 13 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure over Scandinavia and low pressure across southern England, northern France. Winds coming in from the east. I've not been on the magic water either. I've only been having tea. I had tea. All right, you know, when I was out, I didn't have any magic water. Honestly, I didn't. No. So, 13 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure across Scandinavia and low pressure across northern France. Now that brings the wettest weather into south. Should be quite warm though. 12 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure through the country. That includes the control and the operational run. 11 with high pressure to our northwest. That will be bringing the wind from a north or a northeasterly direction. 8 with low pressure to the north and also to the east, cool and showery. And 7 with low pressure Scandinavia, high pressure in the Atlantic. That looks a little bit on the cool and showery side as well. So, I mean, it looks a bit indeterminate, doesn't it, as we go into the end of a bank holiday weekend there, whether we do really hook up this ridge and turn dry over bank holiday weekend, or whether actually with these other options could have it right and we're a little bit more showery and whatnot. In 2 weeks' time, means the options that we've got, it will get us to the 12th of May. 19 miles to the ECM ensembles with low pressure over to the east country, high pressure out in the Atlantic. That's going to bring the wind in from the north, will be cool and showery. We've got number 19 with low pressure Scandinavia, high pressure to our west and southwest. So possibly a little bit on the cool and showery side of that as well. And then we've got 13 with high pressure just to the north, bringing a lot of dry weather with it. Winds in from the east. So that looks very pleasant actually, mostly dry and probably quite warm. However, the majority option, or the joint majority options, look a little bit cooler and a little bit more showery even at 2 weeks out. Right, now this is the CFS V2. So these are 500 millibar high thermometers broken down into weekly periods. The first week period takes from the 27th of April to the 3rd of May. Low pressure to the south, high pressure to the north. Should be warmer. We bring the wind up from more of a southerly direction, but could be a little bit on the volatile side. Week 2 is going to be the 4th through to the 10th of May with high pressure to the south of Greenland, low pressures in the Atlantic. Winds again coming in from more of a northeasterly direction. With that, week 3 it's going to be the 11th to the 17th of May with low pressure over to the east, high pressures out in the Atlantic. That looks cool and showery too. And then lastly, week 4 will be the 18th to the 24th. I'm so sorry, everybody. With high pressure to the north, low pressure to the south, still looking a bit unsettled, especially for the south, but should be relatively warm. We shall see. And we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids, get them to subscribe too. And why not drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. And we thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll just say what's happening on my channel tomorrow. We've got 6 AM UK weather forecast. We will have the latest summer update. That's the 8th summer update. That'll be released at 10 AM. And then we're going to be live at 6 PM with the 10 to 14 day for Sunday. And as it's Sunday live stream, we will include some long range, I think, this week from the Beijing Climate Centre, as well as always, as well as the CFS V2. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and for this one, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.